Welcome to the Blessed to Teach show. This is Rick, your host. Here we are on Saturday, July 6th. I just returned from a trip to DC, the capital for the Salute to America. So we're going to go over a DC trip recap at the end of this video. We're first going to get into a ton of news about the California earthquake, things going on in Broward County, and then obviously an SB2 Decode that digs into the secret meaning behind the 4th of July. Exciting packed show. I'd not probably be able to get through everything, but we'll get through as much as we can here in the next hour. I see a ton of people already on. Thank you so much for joining. Just Forks XS was the first one that came in here. Brutus is second. And we have Sheila on, etc. So we got people from the house from Missouri and Tacoma, Washington, and Mid-Michigan, California, Florida. And that is a real Fusca. Yes, it is. Montana, Alabama, California, Redding, California, Carnis, Australia. Thank you, Debbie Collin from Australia. So let's get rolling here. Again, that was me meeting at the Trump Hotel, actually, Vincent Fusca, as well as a bunch of other people that I was there on the night of the 4th. So let's get rolling on a bunch of what's going on. As you know, Q has not posted since this 27th when he posted on the Patriot Fights board, basically telling us to be ready and telling his comms to be on ready, and then telling us, for God and country, patriots fight. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. And so now here's probably the biggest piece of the news that happened. I wanted to show you this. This is a makeup tutorial that was going on. And I imagine she was pretty close to the epicenter because it shakes her room pretty good. So watch this. Here's the introduction, and I'll play at 1:44 the earthquake starts. And it gives us 10 seconds of footage. Here it goes.
Hi guys, it's Allie here today with your makeup call. Once again, just remember to click subscribe on that little button down below to be able to watch all my fun videos. Thanks guys, I really appreciate it. So today,
so real quick, girl, now she's talking
blush or two
about all this
neutral
makeup.
Colors. Using my mom's Bobbi Brown. It's the
and now here she goes. I'm gonna go to 134 or so. Okay, watch this. So in about 10 seconds, we're gonna see the earthquake start. Fill it in a few different times just to kind of get a real deep color. And then kind of go in here at the bottom. 3 seconds. 2, 1. Pretty crazy, huh? That is pretty crazy. So I'm going to show that again right at 144, right when this starts, right? 144. So you'll see this if you on my show notes. If you guys want to get this video, go to my show notes at blessedtoteach.com with a 2. And you get all my show notes here, obviously emailed to you. Easiest thing to do is to subscribe there. But here it goes. Here's 140. So in 4 seconds, it's going to start again. Here we go.
Go in here at the bottom.
Pretty crazy. That was no small earthquake. 7.1s are nothing to mess with, obviously. It's like, whoa. Dustin Nemos and Sydney, somebody that's working with Dustin Nemos actually, is at the free speech deal today. And they had a bunch of patriots there, some on horses. It says 500 patriots are out in full force to defend free speech. I wish I would have planned better and been there today. But Antifa attempted to infiltrate the area and was abruptly stopped by law enforcement. They're bringing in the cavalry. You gotta love that. This is Sydney, who I met, and what a on fire patriot. It's so cool to see people fighting like this. She has like, I don't know, 30,000 people on Facebook. So go join her. I think it's Based Southern Belle, I think is where you'll find it. Let's see if I can figure out. I reposted this. So it's Sydney Horton is her name, and her page is Based Southern Belle. If you want to follow Sydney. So hey, I wanted to also show you. Well, we'll get into the earth. I'm sorry. This is a Florida file. I'll cover it real quick while I'm here. Authorities explosion at Florida shopping plaza injures 21 people. Just happens to be in Broward County. Seems like we get all this all the time, don't we? And if you back up, all the patriots are basically saying, dude, this is a FF, which you'll see later, right? A staged incident, right? The FF. So let's go back here, and also wanted to make sure that you understood the sponsor for today's show. Guys, it's 2019, and so if you're not using a VPN by now, on your desktop, tablet, and mobile devices to browse the internet, then you really expose yourself to a lot of potential danger. I mean, remember, all your traffic goes to one IP address, and then that's like a phone number for your router, right? So it's vital that you don't make it so easy for everybody to see every website you ever go to, right? You need to encrypt that and have it VPN. So the VPN does both of those things. In fact, if you go to virtualshield.com, they have a free 30-day trial if you just want to try it. Again, what you just come down here, you just go to virtualshield.com, and you would come over here and you just say get started. It's extremely easy. You download this puppy, protect myself versus your family. You can do either one. And most of you are just going to go here, and you can pick one of these plans that will be able to. But you get 30 days for free, right? Another way, which I prefer, is you use my website, which is virtualshield.com/blessed. virtualshield.com/blessed. And you can get this even cheaper, $3.99 a month. You don't get the 30 days free, but it ends up being even cheaper, right? $3.99 a month for the 2-year offer. That's an incredible discount. It's like a 67% discount. You also get a 25% discount for 4th of July special here for other things they have, such as protecting your camera and your microphone from outside infiltration, etc. So go again. These virtual private networks, it's really simple. This is one of the most simple in the world to use. It's also, they don't keep logs, and then it's one of the fastest in the world. So I can record these videos with Virtual Shield live, and it doesn't slow down things. So it's incredibly fast, incredibly easy, and now one of the cheapest. And they don't keep logs, right? So there's a lot of reasons why to go to virtualshield.com/blessed or virtualshield.com just to download the 30-day free trial. You can do that either way yourself. But again, once you're connected, the IP address will change and mask it. So if you can even look as if you're in a different country. You can bypass, if you're being regionally blocked, you can bypass that using these VPNs. It's a beautiful way to protect yourself, encrypt your data, as well as get around regional blocks. So virtualshield.com/blessed. All right, guys, I'm going to get into so this is the more people talking about this Florida mall explosion, right? It says Masonic CIA Mossad effing bastards, you worthless Wasserman Schultz. So this person's not real happy. Get these pieces of X out of here. To Gitmo, drop the Epstein files so these. Well, I didn't realize there was that many swear words. I didn't say any of them, but just you can see people understand it's just not a surprise now when something in Broward counties happen to change the narrative of and give mainstream media something to talk about. In fact, on the 4th, they didn't cover Trump, and the earthquake was a perfect cover to to just cover the entire time and don't say anything about the 4th. So boy, you can tell I've got my backup glasses on. I've misplaced my regular glasses, so hopefully I find them because these are my backup glasses. I just look at myself and go, wow, that looks weird. Anyway, here we go. And so those of you who are listening on the podcast, again, you can see me live in video on YouTube. And go to blessedteach.com, go to About, you'll see the times I go live. So on Saturdays here, it's between 4 and 5 p.m. That's usually when I go live on Sundays as well. All right, and I'll do a Bible study tomorrow, guys. Here is the SB2 Decode, Cyril Brain 2. I love this guy. He just gives such awesome insight. Sometimes I can't figure out, and I'm not smart enough to be able to actually figure out how he's decoding this. And sometimes it seems like it's twisting it a little bit, but what I love about it is he points back to old Q posts, and he's really given us some conclusions that I think are just massively insightful. So I think SB2 is worth following. This is a shorter one today, so let's get into it. Question: In medieval times, when did the military advisor of the king have to hold long working sessions with the diplomatic advisor? Answer: when the king needed advice to make the country comply with his demands without having to invade it militarily. Often they advise him to organize a grand parade to which the king of the target country, as well as his family and close advisors, are graciously invited. This gave them an opportunity to judge the military superiority of their host and understand that it was wiser to try to satisfy him. So why are Iran leaders defiant? answer. Because the cabal and its deep state traitors that shake them from the shadows think they know the capabilities of the U.S. military for having led it until Trump's arrival. What a big mistake. So to understand that later, go back to the last few Serial Brain 2 decodes that I did on earlier videos. Most all of them will have a title that says SB2 decode in there. And I tell you what, it'll show you how all the presidents have been basically esquires to the throne of England, and really they controlled the military, and that's why a lot of U.S. presidents have done things that are just incredibly stupid, basically bowing down to the cabal, right? So he says, what a big mistake. There has been a lot of water under the bridge for the U.S. military since Trump's arrival. Water like $700 billion in an upcoming $716 billion. Our commander-in-chief recently illustrated this in his speech at the South Korea Osan Air Base. Listen very carefully. Now he did 5 minutes here. I'm not going to have the time to do that. I'll just play a little bit of it.
Let me thank every warrior in the audience who served that righteous mission.
In fact, I think I'm going to back up into this one so I can control it a little bit better.
Served that righteous mission. You really were fantastic, and you are fantastic, and we all salute you. Thank you very much. Our nation will never forget the sacrifices of every American service member here today and those stationed throughout the world. No force or literally. I've gone to some of the great pilots. They say, what do you think of the F-35? How does the enemy do? Well, they have a problem. They can't see it, sir. I mean,
the stealth bomber flew over us yesterday. On the 4th.
146 cutting-edge Black Hawk and Apache helicopters.
So he basically just going through all the different military equipment we have. It's pretty impressive. I'll come here and we'll listen to the last 30 seconds.
Or the equipment for the soldiers, it doesn't matter. We have the best, and we had the budget to do it. And that wasn't easy, because I will tell you, this is not a political speech, but the Democrats were not going to give it to you. That I can tell you. They weren't going to give it to you, folks. They weren't going to. They want open borders and the hell with the military. That's not good.
Yeah. So that is exactly what SB2 points out here. About the Democrats and our military, he says, quote, they weren't going to give it to you, folks. They weren't going to. They want open borders and the hell with the military. Close quote. You know the reason, right? It's right here. 2640 on Q 2640. Why did Hussein attempt to destroy our military? Weaken. What was the 16-year plan to destroy America? Why did Hussein install traitors at the highest levels of our government? The resurrection of our military and its undisputed supremacy has been also recently illustrated by the U.S. Navy using the comms. Enjoy. So here is his first image and his classified military equipment deployed for the Iran problem. So here is a tweet from the U.S. Navy saying, stronger together. And you can see it's misspelled without the E in there. And it has hashtag U.S. Navy, partner navies sail together in South China Sea. Navy.military submit display. And you'll see that the capital letters in there add up to admonition. And also, see together without the E, E equals 5. And that's pointing to this drop here that talked about class 5. When somebody said, can an F-16 shoot down a missile out of the air? This is when they literally tried to assassinate Trump with a missile going toward Air Force One, and the F-16s took it out. And then Anon asked, an F-16 can shoot a missile out of the air? And Q answered, specialized weapons package, class 5, Q. So that's what they were pointing to. The Navy was pointing to. The missing E is a 5, which is the class 5 special package, showing how awesome this equipment is. And then here's the Department of Defense. Statement from the Department of Defense on additional forces to U.S. Central Command. These assets will join the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group and the U.S. Air Force Bomber Task Force in the middle of East region in response to indications of heightened Iranian readiness to conduct offensive operations against U.S. forces and our interests. So this is May 10th is when they did this just recently. Next day, message confirmed by the DOD. So this is literally the next day that this happened. So the decoded message is this: the Department of Defense has approved the movement of additional forces and implementation of highly classified military equipment for Iran. The leaders of Iran should read this as a strong warning. So fake news. Why aren't you reporting the U.S. Navy spelling errors? Afraid of having to accept and confirm the comms? Ha 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 ha. Q 1856. These people are stupid. Enjoy the show. Q. So they used to just highlight every spelling error like mad, like Trump was an idiot, or et cetera, right? And now they don't seem to be doing it as much. Because why? Well, it's pointing people to show what's actually happening. As you can see, the U.S. Navy's message is an admonition. Admonition. In other words, they are hoping not to have to use the U.S. military might and kill people. This is what wise military spending is all about. Flowers are not intended for direct consumption, but you invest in them to beautify the garden and give it a wonderful smell. Those who have solved the Rocket Man riddle know exactly what I'm talking about. Here's a confirmation from our Commander-in-Chief.
You must be armed with overwhelming force. You have to be, especially in this world. We're living in an incredibly dangerous world. And hopefully when we build this military and we have it so strong, it's getting to a point now where it's going to be at a level that wasn't even close. Hopefully we never have to use it, But by having it and having this tremendous strength, it's much more likely that we won't have to use it. So we're doing that, and we're very proud of all of you. No one ever stands a chance against the mighty Stars and Stripes, and they never will. We're going to keep it strong, and we're going to keep you happy, and we're going to have the best equipment, and there'll never be anything like what we're doing. Thank you.
All right. This might for peace principle is the argument we'll oppose to those who present themselves as doves and want to cut military spending to satisfy their socialist lust, while in fact they are preparing the country to be invaded and disrespected in the meantime. Look at how the controlled fake news was secretly enjoying China's humiliation of Hussein. So here's President Hussein coming into China.
Back at the last minute.
The president's trip was marked by an awkward opening moment. In fact, when he was forced to exit the belly of Air Force One. Some observers described it as a Chinese snub. Margaret Brennan in Hangzhou, China, looks at the increasingly tense relationship now between Washington and Beijing. Margaret, good morning.
Good morning. Well, China is tightly controlling this G20 summit, and they've placed lots of restrictions on the news media. And ironically, that has made even small disagreements between the U.S. and China more public. Every head of state visiting China for the G20 summit was greeted with pomp and circumstance the moment their plane doors opened. But President Obama's arrival did not go smoothly. As he stepped off Air Force One, the red carpeted stairs were missing, forcing President Obama to use an alternate exit typically reserved for war zones. On the tarmac, a Chinese minder tried to block U.S. press access, screaming at a White House.
So I'm not going to go through all the rest of that, but you can go see it again on the show notes when you get to the SB2 Decode. But look at the difference here. Trump gets lavish welcome. So this goes on for a while too. I'm going to fast forward a little bit, but you can see everything was just first class, everything compared to what happened before. Right now that we have a common understanding of military might and how it translates into diplomatic equations through symbols like peaceful and admonition parades, let's go back to in time and analyze the military parade that Trump canceled last year. Do you remember? It coincided with Andrew Cuomo's outrageous statement made in August of 2018 about America never being great. I wrote about it here. You can go see his article from the past, and essentially told you that POTUS had to cancel the parade because the 13 Illuminati bloodlines with Cuomo and their related secret societies still had some deep state assets in control, making the parade a dangerous event with a possible high cost we would have to pay. At the time, the maestro tweeted about it and promised to do something next year when the cost comes way down. Notice that. So guys, I'm just taking care of some of these since the moderators aren't on. I'm hiding some of the people here. Ready very carefully. Here's the image too. It says prudence, patience, control. Prudence, patience, control. So I'm trying to see if I recognize anybody. I'll give a wrench here so we can keep them out. I think I'm going to take Ethan Tweedy. Ethan Tweedy, just please just hide these people from our channel when they come on. Add moderator. So Ethan, you should have a wrench now and be able to take those people out for me. Thanks, buddy. If you're going to be on, if you're not going to be on, let me know and I'll choose somebody else. But here we continue with the SB2 decode. Did you notice and give justice to this way down and jet fighters in the tweets? Bavarian coffee for those who caught this. It's right here when Trump signed the Taxpayer First Act on July 1st, 2019 and took the opportunity to talk about the coming parade. There he is.
Because Mexico is doing a lot right now. They have almost 20,000 soldiers between the two borders. They have 6,000 on their southern border by Guatemala. And they have about 16,000 at our southern border. And the numbers are way down for the last week because this just took place over the last few days, over the last week, and it's way down, as you can imagine. But we have to do a bill on border security, and we can solve the problem entirely at our border. The wall is being built, but unfortunately we had a very bad case from the Ninth Circuit, as usual. A Ninth Circuit judge, and I say that loud and clear, very hard to win at the Ninth Circuit, if not impossible. He ruled against something that, in my opinion, was a terrible error, and it really affected the construction of part of our wall. Much of it's being built, most of it's being built, but it had an impact. These were contracts that were out, they were being built.
All right, so he says way down twice. Coincidence? That's interesting. He said say way down twice. Let's see what happens 14 minutes later.
Are those entirely off the table now?
Well, now they are, because I think the president's doing a great job. He put 16,000 people in this weekend, and they're forming, but they're getting to the border, and they're doing a great job. And he has 6,000 people at the border with Guatemala. So, I mean, it's been way down. It's cut way down. You'll start to see the numbers over the next
But you had indicated that you were going to continuously reassess. So, are you
that's true.
absolutely taking on?
No, that's true. Yeah, if they don't do it, but they're doing a good job. Right now, they're doing a very good job. We're very happy with the job they're doing. No, it was because of tariffs that they're doing it, but the point is they're doing a very good job, and he's very smart to do it, because that's the time.
All right, there we go. Got it? So that is clear. He's referring to his last year's tweets when the announced purchase of fighter jets and the control consolidation decoded earlier. He also says this. Listen to this.
We're going to have a great 4th of July in Washington, D.C. It'll be like no other. It'll be special, and I hope a lot of people come, and it's going to be about this country, and it's a salute to America. And I'm going to be here, and I'm going to say a few words, and we're going to have planes going overhead, the best fighter jets in the world, and other planes too. And we're going to have some tanks stationed outside. Got to be pretty careful with the tanks, because the roads have a tendency not to like to carry heavy tanks, so we have to put them in certain areas. But we have the brand new Sherman tanks, so we have the brand new Abram tanks, and we have some incredible equipment, military equipment on display, brand new, and we're very proud of it. We're making a lot of new tanks right now. We're building a lot of new tanks in Lima, Ohio. Our great tank factory that people wanted to close down until I got elected, and I stopped it from being closed down. and now it's a very productive facility, and it's the greatest tank in the world, the Abrams.
There you go. Don't you love it when the Maestro talks about the Lima tank plant? We get Abrams and Shermans from there. Who can decode this one? Bavarian Coffee on me for those who made it to the DMZ. Do you still think the Maestro saying way down twice was a coincidence? Value for way down. Yes, 105. We saw in the article about the canceled parade that is also the value for Masonry. Now, what are the odds the number 104 appears in the Maestro's last tweet yesterday? Here it is. This is image 3 talking about secret societies defeated full control. So here's Trump. You can see at the timestamp here, he's talking about the 104th time, a very, very specific number, right? And if you take 105 to 104, incremented destruction of Masonry. The capital letter says without limits. The timestamp brings us to this huge drop that talks about POTUS provided you with very special greeting. Did you catch it? And here's a guy with a MAGA hat on here calling show there. And it basically, and this is a quote that says, this could be a career-ending statement by Andrew Cuomo, or Como, whatever, how you pronounce his name. But anyway, the decoded message is this: Masonry equals 105 equals way down. By tweeting the number 104, the Maestro is signifying the incremented loss of control of Freemasonry and secret societies in general. The power and influence has gone way down, and there is no limit to their demise. They are heading to zero. This is the message about the 13 Illuminati bloodlines and their assets. On our side, all constraints to make America great again have been removed. Cuomo's disgraceful statement about America never being great is nullified. We are now freed to achieve greatness individually and collectively. Sky is the limit. There's more. The reference to the stock market at its highest point in our history is the same tweet where the Maestro coded the secret society's loss of control. It's not fortuitous. In this article, we solved a happy Independence Day riddle, and through the musical note B2 equals 123.47, the related NASDAQ glitch on July 3rd, 2017. There's another link to that article. And the simultaneous ICBM test in North Korea link, we decoded the following message to Trump sent by the cabal on July 3rd, 2017. It says, we control the stock market, we control the tech companies, and the military-industrial complex. If we want to eliminate you, Trump, you could not escape, even if you had to hide in Air Force One like Bush did on 9/11. We had the technology and the financial means to achieve military superiority and defeat you. If you doubt it, for a start, look at our ICBM test in North Korea today. That's what was happening in 2017, in July 2017. Well, 2 years later, to the day, not only the stock market has reached its highest point in our history of our country, but Donald J. Trump is the first sitting U.S. president to step into North Korea, and we are holding a parade today in D.C. to show who really controls the military. This is obviously written on the 4th. Are you tired of winning yet? Once again, are you tired of winning yet? Wait until I tell you how the DMZ meeting was organized behind the scenes, by whom, and why the cabal is hysterical about it. Q1690. You are watching the systematic destruction of the old guard. Power will return to the people. Q. Woo! Hey, Malaya, good to see you. Miss R, now I know that. So I'm going to show a bunch of pictures of people that I met that are subscribers at the 4th of July parade here shortly. So it's going to be fun. I might go a little bit long on this video for that reason. So that was SB2 Decode, just showing. Just think about it, guys. You have all these military aircraft going right over the Washington Monument. As you know, the Washington Monument is a pagan symbol of a god's penis, really. It's literally 666 by 666 by 666 inches. And then it's 666. Just go research it. The Washington Monument is a pagan symbol. It's supposed to be a monument to Washington, but it really was a masonry symbol. And it's lit up. I'll show you some of the pictures from night, etc. And it is what Mark Taylor thinks is possibly going to be knocked down. It's already been damaged. You can't even get close to it because it's got so much damage. And it's going to be interesting if that falls. So it's going to be quite exciting. Hey, my second sponsor is the Q coin, guys. This is really cool. This comes in a freaking sealed envelope. It's really neat. We the People envelope. And it's sealed with wax. And it comes and you open it up and you pull out this card and it talks about the welcome to the Q coin, your passport to another world. It's got all kinds of cool things in this. So if you haven't heard about this and you follow Q, this is a time to get a really cool coin. It's copper, and boy, but it's really neat, and it has it's captured the mood of America and given the voice to the movement. You can now be a real part of that movement. This very special coin has deep meaning engraved in every space from 17 references. So this coin actually will come, if you get 2 of them, comes in with a pouch as well to hold it, and which is nice. And then it actually has an augmented reality. Really, it's so it's kind of like the future of a lot of what you'll see, where the little lightning bolt you'll see here. I don't know if you can see that, the lightning bolt there. You put this certain app over it and it boom loads some things. So that's the hidden part of the hidden parts, right? And we don't know of any other coin that's out there with this ability. If you follow Q, this coin is a no-brainer for you. Opening its box of secrets will be the most exciting thing you've done in a long time. The smartest people in the world have latched onto this. It's time you did. Now with the Q coin, the app that comes with it, you can join them. Go to greatawakening.com. So again, go to greatawakeningcoin.com. greatawakeningcoin.com. And if you blessed to teach with the number 2, blessed to teach, you will get $5 off when you get 2 or more coins. So get the coin now. That you have been waiting for at greatawakeningcoin.com. And again, blessed to teach will save $5 off of the 2 coins. And you can scroll down here and kind of see this. It's really kind of cool how they're doing this, and it gives you a lot more information about the coin. The back of it has some hidden things. If you look real carefully, you can see a couple different 17s, and the choice to know will be yours. There's other hidden things on there. That's got a really cool coin. It says, great, where we go one, we go all. Beautiful coin. So grab that at greatawakeningcoin.com. Let's continue on some things. Here's this anon that's talking about the 4th of July. He's talking about the relevant of Q 2987. Talks about never in our history has communications projects such as this taken place. Talking about Q. Return power back to the people. Truth, transparency, and equal justice under the law. And then it goes through this whole quote of, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men and women, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whatever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable than to the right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, invents a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is right. It is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. That was our last part, was a Reagan quote. United we stand, July 4th, 2019. Where we go one, we go all. Cute. Sorry, that was hard to read because it was, couldn't get it all on the screen. So, but anyway, just exciting. I thought that the anon just kind of shows the power of this movement. Here is Pay the Bagpipe Bar. So I had no idea who had that down. That's kind of interesting. But here, a Gold Star mom unloads on Colin Kaepernick an emotional speech when he's sitting there attacking the Betsy Ross flag, which is just a joke. I mean, you probably have seen, just go to my Twitter if you want to see massive amounts of just making this guy look like a fool. This guy is an absolute social justice warring fool. Colin Kaepernick, failed quarterback. Also, he is doing things that are just damaging. He's trying to separate us. It's part of the Saul Alinsky tactics to separate us. And Nike's going right along with it. That's why I will never buy any more Nike again myself. That's my choice anyway. And my wife used to work for Nike. We used to go to the Nike employee store and get massive discounts. I have Nike everything in my closet. And so it's just sad that to see them go this route. But the fact that the Betsy Ross flag, she was a huge civil rights advocate. Right, and so against slavery as a Quaker, right? So it's crazy to see how this happens. And so my son has given more than any athlete has ever given. This mom says. I don't have time to play all this, but we'll see.
When I look at this country today, and I tell people, and I've wanted to say this loud so many times. Colin Kaepernick was getting paid $14 million a year to throw a ball. My son died for $14,000 a year. And he's given more than any football player, any athlete has ever given. And to this day, still send the kids to college off of $1,000 from our little hometown that people give. These two children right here can look at a flag and say, that's Uncle Jacob. That's what we are here for today. Not because, I wanted to be a Gold Star mom. I got gold stars in school for making grades. But this gold star that I wear every day isn't for me. It's because of what my son chose to do without my permission, trust me. And I have a 17-year-old that is doing the same thing, and it's because of what they believed. And I hear these Marines that come to my house and stay for 4 days. I got 30 Marines that sleep on my floor, and it's great, but they tell us that the only thing that kept them going is when they could look up and see that flag. They had hope to go back home to, and I hope that this country was going to change for the better, not for the worse.
Wow, guys, just powerful stuff. I tell you what, here's Jeb Bush actually saying 3 presidents die on July 4th. Just a coincidence? Wow, there's Jeb Bush showing his cabal self right there. And so even Mark Dice caught it and said, we know you're wishing for Trump to be added to that list. You and your family are war criminals and traitors to this great country. Hey, Gypsy Nurse Kathy, thank you. Appreciate it, Kathy. We don't have the monitors with all the holidays and stuff, so I appreciate you guys helping monitor. I do like light moderation. Obviously, all the bots that are on there now are obvious, but I don't want people to be able to have different opinions, etc. So don't just ban everybody for me. So keep the moderation light, but obviously just hide the channel for all these bots that are coming on there. Hey guys, I'm gonna probably save a lot of this stuff till later. Here's a kind of funny meme. It says, "Are you a Nazi?" Fun and accurate. So basically, it's a yes, no. Are you white? Yes or no. So if you're no, you're not a Nazi. If you're white, you got to go over here to this next question. Yes, I'm white. So do you hate yourself? Yes. If you hate yourself, you're not a Nazi. If you don't hate yourself and you're white, congratulations, you're a Nazi. So there's just a lot of stuff like that. I'm going to skip some of this stuff because I want to get to giving you guys the pictures and a little bit of what happened on the 4th. There's some awesome stuff going here. Here's a great piece by #Storm correspondent Martin Gendis, who explains how Nixium is just the first shoe to drop and what is a coordinated process of mass re-education about a monstrous and supreme evil elite secret society that had grown larger than imagined possible. So first, it's the first drop, and it's interesting that, and it said at the end, it says that makes them, we're talking about the mainstream fake media, our enemy and exploiter, not our protector and ally, because they're not even reporting on Nixium. So it's not just what they report, it's what they don't report is showing them being traitors, complete traitors to our country. Yellow vests and protesters on the 34th straight week in Paris. This continues to roll, guys. It's amazing. All right, I'm going to flip to a couple of new things. So remember, if you want to get those show notes, you need to go to blessedtoteach.com. That's blessed with the number 2, teach.com. And you go right here to contact us, and you can send me any type of email. And right here, here's where you subscribe to the Blessed Teach list, where you get the show notes every day. You can also just go directly to the show notes from here. It's much easier just to get on the email list, and that'll help you keep track of me if they knock me off this channel anyway. You can also scroll down and be added here as well. So pretty easy. I'm also on Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, and iHeartRadio. Even if you don't listen, please go subscribe to iTunes, or if you have an iPhone. Just helps more people. As it ranks up, more people will listen to these, right? So I really appreciate you subscribing to iTunes if you have an iPhone, and iHeartRadio if you have an Android phone. Would really appreciate that help. Now, guys, I just want to give you one example of when I'm talking about this cultural impact system I'm rolling out. And if you haven't downloaded your free gift on the 7 mountains, please do so. It's frustratedwithculture.com. I'm going to be closing that down soon. I extended it. I was going to close it last Tuesday. A lot of people requested, so I've extended that. So the free gift is at frustratedwithculture.com. That'll show you about the 7 mountains of cultural influence and how that is actually being attacked as a cultural demise happened. And now's this time to strike and come back into that. But you need to know what your passion area is. So to understand it all 7 mountains, so I can consolidate these people you into different teams based upon the mountains, right? But I really want you to understand the transformational process that can happen for you if you really want to be used and know how God's going to be using you, right? And I just want to give you an example of a story of that, and that is this Brian Calfridge, who started this GoFundMe page, We Will Build the Wall. And it wasn't that simple to, number 1, execute their first project, but number 2, just get this started. Number 3, literally get almost 25 million. Look at this. They're just short of 25 million right now. One person. This guy is a triple amputee. Almost died, obviously. One of the most wounded survivors in all of I believe it was Iraq, where a bomb hit his compound. Triple amputee. He ends up becoming a professional speaker, motivational speaker. But more importantly, he got a small team together with him. He knew his passion was helping build this wall, and he went and raised 25 million. And look at this video. This video is their first project. I've done some videos about this. This is beautiful. Listen to this. Those of you on the podcast, I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm going to pause this each time I'm getting into it. So this is, look at 200,000 cubic yards of excavation they had to take out, because this thing it went up like 300 feet. The Army Corps of Engineers said they couldn't even build a wall here in a critical area that was a parking lot to parking lot, really easy for the drug lords to come and drop off all the immigrants. And then the Border Patrol would come and they would sometimes just overwhelm them, and they could only get about half of them. While the Border Patrol was overwhelmed up this huge hill, the drug traffickers would bring the drugs across. So in this half-mile area was just a huge drug running, as well as human trafficking, as well as just border crossings. And the Army Corps of Engineers raised their hand and said they couldn't do anything. So their first project was to go close that down, and they did it. And his first thing was I'm going to turn this music down because it's really loud. But you can see 200,000 cubic yards, so they had to get rid of all these 50-foot hills to go up to this steep, like grade 2 ski slope. And look what they did. And they excavated all that. Look at it. It went up. It goes up 350 feet vertical rise. So no border patrol vehicles could get up there. So those traffickers could get once they got some of the border people busy. They obviously could not stop them. Now look at all these walls coming. These are like 22-foot walls. But it also has fiber optics down below, so nobody can dig underneath without being detected. It's got lights. It's also got cameras. So the wall's backed up. 2,300 feet of wall. Most of the cement trucks couldn't even get up to the height because of the grade. But they figured out unique ways to get the cement up there. Look at this. Look at the cement trucks now. So the steel wall is an amazing feat. Again, if somebody has tried to put a ladder on top of it to crawl over, boom, the lights turn on, the cameras turn on, and look at this road they built, this cement road. So they can go 30, 40 miles an hour and get up and keep the border crossing from happening. And it's completely stopped the drug flow in this area. Before, look at all the hills. Look at all these big hills. Now look at, it's a smooth route in a road, a cement road. Beautiful. Look at that beautiful wall with cement road, lights, fiber optics. Here's the light poles. You can see the light poles. Look at this guy. He's in night. Look at those. They all light up. Boom. So that anybody tries to put a ladder up, boom, catches you. Guys, this is amazing. And this is why I'm saying I believe in the power of one person who understood their passion area to get into a small team and do amazing things. He didn't do this all by himself. He has 15 people on his team. And they do all kind of social media outreach, and they go speak on stages, and they do these fundraising campaigns, and that's how they got the $25 million in. One person working with a small team. That's what this whole system's about. Just think what he did. So what's your passion? What could you do with a team and a system of support? Just think about this channel by itself. It's not just me, it's a team. I have moderators on. I see Amy on now. I also have people that are help with the Facebook. My brother's my technology guy helping me with a lot of back to scene stuff. My small team took a person who had never done a Facebook Live or anything before in my life to what you guys have helped me achieve here by sharing these videos and being over 60,000 subscribers, etc. That was a decision that I made to go fight the media based on what I have to do after that. What's my passion area? I hated Mockingbird media, so the media mountain was my area. And then it's like, what were my spiritual gifts? Well, I love to teach. I also love leadership type things. And then what are my personality types? Right? I love facts, and so I have to have other people that are better with the filling part of things. I also love to really be competitive and get things done and act fast and talk fast, right? And I need people that can think and slow me down sometimes. So the team being well balanced helps me achieve this, and that's what Brian Calfridge did as well. So that's the vision here: is where does God want to use you? So download that free gift at, again, culturalimpactsystems.com or frustratedwithculture.com. Thank you. Was it Kenich? Really appreciate it. So that is what I just want to share that with you guys. This is exciting times. There's those two stories, there's many other stories that we're going to be able to tell as we launch this on July 29th. A lot more details are going to come out about the system. July 29th is where we're going to have the 5-week course. And again, it's going to be extremely exciting. Frustratedwithculture.com. Download that free gift before we take it down, because I'm going to have another free gift on personality types and what I call team gifting is going to be the next thing I cover next week. So it'll probably be up until Tuesday or Wednesday. Please download that before then at frustratedwithculture.com. Okay, guys, let's go into my pictures. This is going to just really go through what happened during my trip. I'm going to just quickly go through them all. So if I start from and then this is where Vincent Fusca, I got pictures, etc. So here's my hat. Trust the plan. Thank you, Ethan. I really appreciate it. I really like it. Thank you for being a moderator as well. Trust the plan Q. This is from Lou, one of the moderators on this show, a great Catholic man of God, and he sent me this hat. There's an embroidered hat, by the way. So contact Lou if you want to get a cool embroidered hat that says Trust the Plan Q. I think he can do different colors for you as well. And then here I am at the Washington Monument. I went on the 3rd. I went and scoped everything out, because I knew I would be with a lot of people. And there it is, the monument that's damaged now. That's got a big fence around it, so you can't get close to it now. And you can't go up on the elevator any longer, and it's got cracks. And this is what Mark Taylor thinks is going to topple down at one point in time. This is a pagan relic, right? And here is the World War II memorial. Beautiful. The fountain here is just awesome looking. And this is where we spend a lot of time at various times during the trip. Here is what you call a panorama, where it shows the whole thing. So you can see it shows the whole thing. It's really kind of cool how you can do this, and I can blow that up as well and actually look at literally and if we had more time, I would show you. I could go all around here and blow this up. Look at, we can even read this. Pearl Harbor, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy no matter how long it may take us to overcome the premeditated invasion. The American people in their righteous might will win through the absolute victory. And every one of these, look at this, says America, Samoa, says Guam, Hawaii, and then it goes through every single state too, like Utah, there's my Idaho, etc., etc. You can go all the way around this with a wreath for every single state. It goes all the way around on this half, and then it does the same thing on this half as well. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And here's some more sayings. You can go look at women who stepped up, were measured as citizens of the nation, not as women. This was the People's War, and something else was in it. But anyway, you can just see this really cool. Highly recommend getting to DC at some point in time. There's my hometown, my home state of Idaho. I live in Texas now though, and here's a picture from just right outside that World War II memorial that shows the Lincoln Memorial way back here. That's the screen that Trump, this is where Trump spoke. This is where the tanks were. I'll show you a picture of the tanks in a second, where I got pretty close on the 3rd to him. There's a couple Navy stores here that were outside that were just had a bunch of relics you could buy. Here's, I'm going to go pretty quick here. Here's the tanks. So I was able on the 3rd to get within 50 yards of the tanks. All right. And there's 2 of them there that were stationary. And boy, this has freaked out the liberals. It's crazy to see how freaked out they were about this. Here is where Trump spoke. You can see the bulletproof glass right above here. The tanks are right down here beneath him. And then here is, I actually saw this white shirted guy right here, and the TV camera man with the lights. This aired on Fox News later that night. I saw it. So I literally was standing right next to the guy doing a report on Fox News about the upcoming parade the next day. So this is all on the 3rd. There's me. There's a better picture of me and the tanks, right? About 50 yards from the tanks there. It's the closest you could get to get. And there's a picture from the Lincoln Memorial back to the Washington Monument. And this is the reflecting pool, the famous reflecting pool where this is where Martin Luther King spoke his famous speech, as well as where Trump spoke on the 4th. The live stream didn't even work. There's so many people. Verizon towers were overloaded, or they didn't want anybody to live stream. So I think it was a cabal, a way to they didn't want live streaming to try to silence as much as they could, because it was huge. There was massive people there. This, I believe, is the Vietnam Memorial, coming down to that part of it. So it's just right next to, just north of the Lincoln Memorial. Again, here I am on the 3rd, and then you can see another couple pictures of these great Vietnam soldiers or statues. They have statues everywhere. It says, in the memory of the men and women who served in the Vietnam War and later died as a result of their service. Sorry, I had to get a drink. We honor and remember their sacrifice. And then as you go to the wall, it's just amazing. The amount of names is just crazy. It's just so sad to see that this was a extended war by cabal owning both sides, and they wanted to kill our sons and daughters so that they can get wealthy. It's just scary when you start seeing it. And here's some of these pictures. They you can see how tall the wall gets. It goes really small and to really large down in the center of it. A lot of people come and put flags for their loved ones. You can see the flags for the loved ones. And later I walked by the Federal Reserve building and the Federal Reserve Board building, which was interesting. I thought this was interesting. A statue that was from a famous person from Venezuela. Isn't it sad what's happened there, where it became a communist state and now people are starving when it used to be the third richest country in all of Latin America. And then here's just statues everywhere. Like this was just honoring women in the National Society of Daughters of the American Revolution. So the women were involved also in the American Revolution. Just statues everywhere of famous people. There's just a different view from the park going up toward the White House with the Washington Monument. You can see it from almost everywhere. It was the tallest building in the world when it was built. Unfortunately, again, it's a relic to a god. It's beautiful, but it's just sad. They made it 666 inches by 666 inches, etc. Right? Look at this, Jews for Trump. So then I just was surprised. I was so lucky. That night when it was getting dusk, I walked by the White House to go back to my hotel. And they had a huge rally going on with people that loved Jesus and loved Trump. And there was prayers going on. And it's my video. Go back and look at I got 2 videos on it on the 3rd, July 3rd. Go look at those. It's just so awesome to see people praying right outside the White House for President Trump. This guy was right outside the White House in the front north area. And there's the White House there. Here is some people that met me now on the 4th. Now we moved to the 4th. In the morning of the 4th, we met at a salad place before we went to the parade. This is Stephanie. So Stephanie came and met me. That was fun to meet all these people. And so gosh, I'm gonna have a hard time with some of these names. But it starts with a V. I know her name, but she was awesome. I'm gonna look real quick because I have Helga. It was Helga. So that was Helga. And then this is Mary Waller. I think this is her daughter. So the mother and daughter. She had the JFK hat with the "Make America Great." She made with a Q. That was a Q right down there. Mary Waller was just awesome. You could tell she just loves the Lord too. And there's pictures of me and Mary. There's a picture of me and there's a picture with Helga with the Great America. With the JFK Jr. Here is gosh, it was Joanna. I think it's Joanna. So that's me and Joanna who came as well. It was fun in the salad shop. The secret police were there. Secret Service. You can see police, Secret Service. So that was all comforting. There was military on every freaking corner. We were so safe. No Antifa problems, etc. It was quite exciting. Here, all right. It was so fun to see everybody. And gosh, it's Cindy. That's right, Cindy and Miles. I think it was. Yeah, Cindy and Miles, or her husband Miles. Miles came later, but Cindy was there in the morning. Fun stuff. This was Stephen and I think it's Catherine. Yeah, I spent a lot of time with them as we were walking all around with them. Catherine with a K, and Stephen, and I spent probably most time with Janie. She was awesome because my wife couldn't make it, and she didn't want to, and Patsy couldn't walk as much, so Patsy and Janine were awesome, and Janine was my walking partner a lot of times when we did a lot of walking on the 4th, and there we are. There's Patsy and Janine too when we walked up to the White House to take pictures before we went to the parade. And the parade wasn't that awesome because Trump pulled all the military out, I think, just because of all the complaining. And then there was people talking about drain the swamp, 9/11 truth. There was something interesting that was going on. And here was another person that just said, "Hey, you're Q." I don't think she knew me, but she had here's her dark to light with a Q right there, MAGA. That was the back of her shirt. She was all excited when she saw me because I had the back of my shirt's a big Q as well. There's Janie again. Janine. I'm sorry. This is Malaya. I think she's on right now. And I always say that wrong. Malaya. So Malaya was there with her husband and her 7-year-old son. That was really awesome. She was part of a video that I did on the 4th. So you can go see that as well. A small little 3-minute video on the 4th when we were at the White House on the 4th. I'm sorry, the 5th. That was the day after the 5th. And this couple just saw me and recognized me and in the hotel and said, "Are you blessed to teach?" He first came up to say, it was so funny. He just came up and said, "Hey, you're Q. All right, hey, good job on Q." And then he goes, "Oh my goodness, you're the guy I listen to." And he and his wife were so excited. It was really fun to meet them. I think they were from Ohio, I believe, if I remember right. Or maybe they were South Dakota. I think it was Ohio. Here's another person, same thing, that recognized me and was a big Q fan. This was funny. They had to deflate the balloon. That said libtards had to deflate the balloon because of the thunder and wind and etc. This was going to be this, trying to mock Trump with the baby, the Trump baby, right? That was classic when they had to deflate it because of the weather. And there we are again, the White House. This guy's a huge walkaway movement. He's really tall. Can't remember his name. Presley, I think it is. But a huge gay walkaway guy that's doing great work getting people out of the Democratic Party and into the Trump movement. That's beautiful. Here it says, "I met her too. She was from Pennsylvania." Oh, it says, okay, Pennsylvania. I was way off. Thanks so much, Malaya. Appreciate the correction there. And then what else do we have here? Here says Cindy and another Trump fan. It was funny. This is where we were. Unfortunately, we were dumb enough to be underneath trees. So the flyovers, we had 50% of our view blocked. But when you see the pictures of everybody that was there, just completely crowded, it doesn't even show 50% of the people because you can even, we were all behind underneath the trees. It was crazy, and it was really neat to see them, the non-Q, non-red-pilled people, just love Trump. It was just, there was a ton of them out there. It's just amazing. And after the flyovers, which was just awesome, you had a stealth bomber going over you, Air Force One going over you, you had Kitty Hawks going over you, you had the Blue Angels going over you twice. It was an incredible show. And some people are going, "Oh my goodness, Trump always over delivers." These are non-Q people talking about this, right? So they don't even understand everything that's going behind the scenes, and they love Trump anyway. It's just really cool. Here's a guy that had a noose, a Q noose. It was a noose that was a Q. I thought that was quite funny. And here's another couple that recognized me and going, "You're blessed to teach." So that was fun as well. Here is, I think another couple of Q fans. I can't remember exactly. I think they were just people that had, maybe they had the JFK Jr. or something, I think is why we saw them. Other just Trump fans everywhere I took pictures with. And here's Steven, with an awesome understanding of Q guy. And here's I went to the Trump Tower afterwards on the 4th and met up with Dustin Nemos. He introduced me to Craig from Just Informed Talk, which was really neat. And here's Southern Belle, based Southern Belle. Go follow her. 30,000 people on Facebook. They're all, those both are there to the free speech movement right now. This is Sydney and Dustin, and then Craig from Just Informed Talk. So it's really fun to get to know them, and they're doing a documentary. It's really awesome to what's going on there. I think they just have 5 more of these. There's my picture in that same hotel at the Trump Tower. Vincent Fusca was there. So it was really interesting. You can see I am 5'11", guys, pushing it, right? And so since JFK Jr. was 6'1", sorry, it's not JFK Jr. He's actually shorter. Dustin Nemos is 5'9", and he's actually shorter than Dustin. So, but he is a huge Trump fan, obviously. We know that. There is just a picture of the Trump Hotel a little bit there. When I was driving home, you just see how they see the lights going on Washington Monument. So at night you can see it just blares up. It's just really cool looking. Just too bad. And I just really wanted to see the Washington Monument before it falls. If what Mark says is true, he doesn't say what monument, but it definitely talks about a monument. And then on the way home, I'm on the plane. I meet 2 other huge MAGA fans. They don't really know much about QAnon, but they really love Trump, understand Trump, and they love the Lord. That was the most important thing. So it was a wonderful plane trip home. talking about how people that are loving the Lord are just seeing that Trump was called for such a time as this. It's such a beautiful thing. So that's a summary of the trip, guys. I was so excited. Probably the most important thing to understand out of this whole trip was the fact that you had those Blue Angels flying over the Washington Monument. You had all these different military vehicles from all 5 branches of the military flying over the Washington Monument. What do you think that means? I'll tell you what I think it means. It means that they are in trouble. It means that the cabal does not have control of our military any longer. Trump controls it. It means the cabal is going down. It's an exciting time, and I think that was one of the major messages of just seeing all those vehicles fly right over that monument. And if you look at, like SB2 says, 2 years after, when the cabal was saying, I control the stock market, I control different parts of the military industrial complex, I control the budgets, I can make sure you don't have a military parade. And Trump has a military parade in a different way. It's an Air Force One, and he's got tanks on both sides of it, and they freak out. Only Trump can make the media and the Democratic leadership complain about a celebration of the 4th of July. A celebration for America. Salute to America. It was beautifully done. He didn't talk about himself at all. He talked about the military and the success in this great country. It was a beautiful thing. If you haven't watched that 40-minute video, take the time to watch it. It's a beautiful rendition of him. And if you can go back and just at least search on the all the air that flew right over us. It's just an amazing time. God bless you guys. It's exciting. Again, I'm so blessed to have this channel and to be able to have this way to be able to talk to you guys. Tomorrow we'll do a Bible study on John 10. Let me pray and we'll wrap her up here. Heavenly Father, just thank you so much for this audience. Thank you so much for those that are being called to actually take action and will actually end up joining me in the Culture Impact System. It's going to be such an exciting time, Lord. Thank you for the 1,000+ people who have downloaded the free gift to really start to understand what the 7 mountains of culture influence are and where their passion might lie, where they might get better engaged in the near future here, Lord. I just pray for a special blessing on everybody who is listening to my voice right now, whether it's recording or live, Lord, that I pray truly you'll give them discernment, truly you'll give them wisdom, truly you'll just bless all parts of their lives, Lord. Not only their lives, but their families. Lord, we're under such attack right now from all parts. I just pray for a blessing on this country. I pray for that you'll just continue to protect and use Donald Trump and all the white hats that are trying to help here, Lord. And that we'll be able to join in this movement to take back our country, to take back the culture of our country. And let's see how Jesus can reign here in America as well as all the other countries around the world. And we say these things in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Amen. All right, thank you guys. We appreciate everything. Elia, nice to meet you. Nice to meet everybody that I met in the DC. What a wonderful blessing it was. God bless you guys, and we'll talk to you next time.